there, thank you for joining me today. My name is Caitlin Moose if you're new to this channel, and today is the very first episode of 50 Shades of Great. If you missed the intro video, I'll link that here and below, but basically this is a project that I'm doing to identify, research, and showcase 50 incredible women. And I hope this promotes curiosity and excitement, no matter what your gender. So up first is Sheryl Sandberg. She is the COO of Facebook. You probably heard of that thing, kind of a big deal. And before that, she worked at Google. Before that, she worked for the US Secretary of the Treasury. And before that, she was getting her MBA at Harvard Business School. So incredibly accomplished woman, especially in the technology field. So many things we hear about, lack of females in math, science, and technology. So to see a woman on top there, I think is incredibly inspiring. I just finished reading her book, Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. An incredible book that I would highly recommend you check out, but it is essentially a fleshed out version of a TED Talk she gave in 2010 called Why We Have Too Few Women Leaders. One of the reasons that I recommend this book and Sheryl's message is that it's in alignment with this message, that it's not just about throwing statistics and facts and figures in your face about the disparity of women in the workplace, the wage gap, and these things that we keep hearing, and it's such a negative dialogue around it, and as opposed to saying, what are the solutions? How can we fix this? That's what the book addresses. That's what the TED Talk addresses. She gives actual solutions for an individual to implement in their life to see positive changes. So the three big ideas that she shares in the book and in the talk would be: 1, women need to sit at the table. 2, make your partner a real partner. And 3, don't leave before you leave. And all of this operates around that idea to lean in. Lean in by making your voice heard, asking for that promotion, taking on a new assignment. Don't back away from opportunities presented in the workplace especially, but in life, because maybe you're making plans for a child, making plans to move. Any of these things where you're leaning back because you're not quite sure, you're hesitating, is going to put you at a disadvantage in the long run. Especially when it comes to having kids. Sheryl has 2 of her own, and she recognizes the need for maternity leave, paid maternity leave, that companies and our government needs to work on, but also just that so many women get this mentality with months and maybe even years leading up to their pregnancy that they need to be taking a step back because they might not come back to work. And she says a huge factor in that is to make sure you keep your foot on the gas pedal so that when you do have to take your maternity leave, when you come back, you'll have a job worth coming back to. One that is challenging and rewarding rather than letting your career take a back seat. And so it's really boring when you come back. Of course, it's going to be hard to leave that child. So many choose then to stay home. So a lot of it focused on this idea of lean in. Also, make your partner a real partner I found incredibly interesting because it's not just about negative stereotypes for women, but also these kind of societal biases we have for men as well. We put so much more pressure on boys than girls to succeed, to provide for your family in a financial sense, not in a stay-at-home and raise your kids sense. She does point out that studies have shown when both parents work full-time, women still do 2 times as much housework as men and 3 times as much child care. As much as we as a society have to recognize that it is okay and necessary for women to stay in the workplace, we have to say the opposite too, that it is okay for men to stay at home and take care of the kids. There has to be parity from both sides.
What we know is that stereotypes are holding women back from leadership roles all over the world. It's so striking. Lean In's very global. I've been all over the world talking about it. And cultures are so different, even within our own country, to Japan, to Korea, to China, to Asia, Europe. They're so different, except for one thing: gender. All over the world, no matter what our cultures are, we think men should be strong, assertive, aggressive, have voice. We think women should speak when spoken to, help others.
It's always a difficult subject to talk about inequality of any kind, but I do want to reiterate that it is not about us versus them. It's never going to be women versus men. That's not how we come to a better tomorrow. So what do you think? That was the very first episode of 50 Shades of Grey. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I would also love to hear if you have anyone that I should include in the project. Please list their names down below so I can get to know more about them and hopefully include them in a future episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was inspirational and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!